Hey everybody, I'm Mikey G, and today we'll be revisiting Plutonium aerosol paint. So we're going to be doing some of the same tests we did last time. We're going to be doing a drying time test, we're going to do some coverage tests, but this time I wanted to do something that was a little bit more specific to the do-it-yourself and home improvement market. We're going to test how the paint actually is applied, the application. Sometimes spray paints can run, they can sag or drip. I wanted to see how Plutonium compared to the other national brands and see if we can prove it. So the first test we're going to be doing is based on drying time. Now this is the same test we've done before, only this time using Krylon and Rust-Oleum. It has begun. Alright, so we're at about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It's still a little tacky and a little wet, and it's still coming off. So we're going to give it another minute or so. Okay, we're at the 6-minute mark, and I'm just going to give this one final swoop, and I think we are dry. So now we'll do our next application of paint. We'll be going on to the Rust-Oleum. Okay, we're at 4 minutes, and we have some areas down here in these drips right here that are still a little wet. It's still very wet, obviously, and needs a little bit more time. I'm looking for the whole thing to be dry for every brand. I want to be able to sit on this. Why would I want to sit on this? Alright, so oh, guys, come on, come on back. Well, let me use the clean finger here. Yeah, it's dry, it's dry. So, 13 minutes, 5 seconds, I'll say that's fair. Because I'm tired of waiting. Now we're going to move on to our last dry time test with the Plutonium. We're at about 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and we are dry. We are dry. So, another 45 seconds from last time, but you know, that could be atmospheric conditions. None of it really matters though. I think it beat the pants off the other two. Okay, so we're on to our next test. I want to see how well these paints set up, you know, whether I'm painting a wall or a piece of furniture. When I'm trying to cover a large area, I want to see how well it does in terms of sagging, dripping, or if it can just, you know, stick and maintain its own. There are some places here where the paint has kind of pooled up a little bit and drooped down. That's what sagging refers to with aerosol paints. It's where the paint hasn't really adhered properly to the surface. Okay, so the Rust-Oleum performed considerably better than the Krylon. There was a little bit of pooling and sagging towards the bottom here, but overall, much better coverage. Now, because Plutonium is what we're using to really prove a point, I wanted to make sure that I went above and beyond even with the other two to see if it was going to have any sag or dripping. I already applied a little bit more paint than I did the last few times, so I'm going to go ahead and double down. I'm going to add even a little bit more paint and see if we can get it to drip or run. You got to get in real close. There's nothing dripping or running here. I know it's gonna run. Maybe what I just need to do is hold it in one spot and just wait for it. Let's just do that for fun. No, not me, not me. All right, we're moving on to our coverage test. We're gonna see how many coats it takes until this black rectangle disappears. We're gonna start with Krylon. On your marks, get set, spray. 2 coats, Okay, at this stage of the game, what I like to do is stand back a little bit. Because the acrylic paint we laid down has a little bit of a, I don't know, thickness to it, it could throw off your eye. So what I want to do is stand back about, I don't know, 15 feet or so, and I will let that be the test of if I can see that rectangle or not. Well, no illusion there. There's still a rectangle. Time for code 6. So at 9 coats, I think it's very fair to say we are completely covered. Let's move on to the Rust-Oleum. 5 coats is a very fair coverage. I think that's pretty well covered. So let's see how well plutonium stacks up to this. Definitely still making out a rectangle, maybe 1 or 2 more coats. 7 seems to be the amount it took. So Rust-Oleum beat it. What's that about? Rust-Oleum was 5 coats, plutonium was 7. It's a clear winner, right? Maybe not. Okay, so we saw that the Rust-Oleum beat out plutonium's brand by 2 coats, but I said, did it really beat it out? If you look at these 3, you'll see that one of them is significantly brighter than the other 2. And if you guess this one in the center here, well, just like before, good news, you don't need glasses. The plutonium uses an active resin instead of traditional pigments to get the brightest white possible. And that's why it will give you that polar white that you can't achieve from the other brands. So even though it took another coat or 2, it's definitely the brightest white available. So no matter what your project is, whether you're restoring a piece of furniture, covering a wall, any application where you use spray paint, plutonium is clearly the superior choice. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Prove It, and we'll see you again next time. Thanks.
Hey Mike, what's up with the mask?
Huh?
What's up with the mask, man?
The viewers kept saying I was supposed to wear a mask while I did this, so I put on a mask.
I don't think that's quite what they meant, Mike.